Crap to Cream, Top Shed, good afternoon. Hope you are all well. So you might notice the engine is now in and not without its challenges, so we'll go with that. So the engine mountings, so these are the later ones, the rubber bumper ones, and I'm hoping you can see them. So when I put them in originally, I put them with the threads of the mount at the bottom. And then when I put them in, and with the shims, right, so they had a shim on each side, and then when I put the engine in, both the threads are sitting on the bottom of the slots. And what they say in the books, right, is that you should not have the engine sitting on the threads of the engine mounts should not sit on the bottom of the slots. So I lifted the engine in situ and I spun the blocks round, and I also retained the spacers. And then I'm not sure how well you can see this, but the nuts are up there now, and I've now put them in the middle of the slots and tighten them up. So you'll be proud of me, Charles. Not. I didn't cut my 4 threads off my engine mounting rubbers, so I had to take them off again, and I cut the four threads off both sides. And then I put nylock nuts and a flat washer on. I don't bother with the spring washer, obviously, because it's got a nylock nut one. But I put the nylocks on because it's harder to hold the flat washer and the spring washer on while you put the regular nut on, a standard nut on. Then we come to the back here. So when you put the MX-5 gearbox in, what I found is with the height of the gearbox, as it hits the underside of the transmission tunnel inside the car, it's just as it comes up against this. So when I jack this up to get this plate here over the top of the cross member, on both occasions I've done that now, I've dislodged this plug, this cap here. And on dislodging that, you then spill like a litre and a half of oil out. And because of the position that you're in, it's quite difficult to do anything about oil leaking out at that time. So I just put a bucket underneath and some rags, and I catch the oil and then lift the gearbox up past the cross member, then put this cap back in again and then slide it in. So both of the ones that I've done, and this is, I'm not sure, because there's a plate that comes under the engine mount that comes with a new gearbox. So I suppose you could leave the plate off, and then that'll give you enough room then to lift the gearbox up and then put the plate in. But putting the plate in and then getting the bolts in inside here on the gearbox, that would be another challenge. Whereas doing it the way I've done it, all you've got to worry about is these 4 bolts here, 2 here and 2 on the other side. So it's in, but it's very tight going past the cross member, and with the height of the transmission tunnel and the height of the new gearbox, just something to be aware of. And on both occasions when I've done mine, the gearbox mount, or where the gear stick goes, has always been over to the right hand side of the car. So I've always had to push it over a little bit, physically push it over a little bit to get the gearbox in the center to put the gear stick in. So that's just something I've found on both the ones I've done now. They've both been biased towards the right hand side, and I left the engine mountings at the front loose just in case pushing this over had any impact on them. So I got this lined up, got this on, then I tightened the front mounts in that order. So that's how I've got that in now. So the engine, the MX-5 gearbox is now in. Got to go take this off. I put it in with the high inertia starter motor. You can get it in. You don't need to put the starter motor in afterwards, but all I wanted to do really was get the engine in so I can put the steering rack in. And with putting the shorter studs in and lifting the engine up that little bit, the studs up a little bit higher, gives you that extra bit of clearance for the steering column to go through underneath the engine mount. So there you go. So that's it. So there we go. So that'll do for now, and I'll give you a bit of an update when I've dropped it down and I put the column back on. All right then. I'll speak to you again soon if I don't post it straight away. If I do post it the way it is, thank you very much indeed for subscribers and for your comments. They're always welcomed, and it's been great. I'm now past my 800 mark, so I'm working my way towards 1,000, and any support you can give me is great. So I really appreciate all the support and everything else that's going with this right now. I never thought I'd be getting to this point, but yeah, looking forward to getting new subscribers, and yeah, it's all fun. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. I'll catch you soon. Bye for now. So later on in the afternoon, we are here now, and as you can more than likely hopefully see, the engine is now resting in place where it should be. I got the extractors in. I put those in with the engine because it's quite difficult to get them in when the engine is in and you can't move it because the engine mountings are there and things. So yeah, anyway, that's in. They're ceramic coated, so they'll hopefully reduce some of the heat in the engine bay. Steering rack is in, and I'll get this light here which doesn't work. Get this one here which does. And as you might be able to see, the steering rack is perilously close to the cross member there. So I think it'll be alright. It's got about 10 thou clearance, which is not an awful lot at all, and I think it's got something, pardon me, something to do with the left hand to right hand, left hand to right hand drive conversion. Been moving the oil pipes around, they've been dripping oil everywhere, so I've got to clean that up. But anyway, the engine's in now, the steering rack's in, and the wheels are back on, so I can now move the car to do work in the shed if I need to. I can move the car out, put the steering column in on a couple of bolts, and then just move the car around so I can do other work in the shed, because it's been in here for like 6 or 8 months now, and I've got other work to do. I can put this undercover in the lean-to next to the shed. But anyway, there you go. So the engine's in. Now we'll progress on with everything else. So yeah, the parts of the windscreen should arrive today, so I can put the windscreen in. Then I'm going to look at start putting the dash in and putting on the supercharger. See how that all fits in with everything. Shouldn't be much problem. Pretty standard conversion, he says. We'll see. We shall see what there is to see. I'm trying to stop this oil dripping everywhere. Oil on belts, not good. But anyway, alright, so that's it. It's Wednesday today, so might get a bit done tomorrow, not sure. We'll see how we go. See if the parts arrive for the windscreen, because I'd like to get the windscreen back in again. So there you go, engine's in. MX5 gearbox installed. Oh, just have a look and make sure that it's in the middle. So it's pretty close-ish. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine. I might have to take that plate off and just fix it. But anyway, yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine. It's as good as it's going to get, because it won't go any further back because of the engine mountings and all the rest of it. All right, keep subscribing, keep the comments coming. Loving to hear from people, and yeah, I'll be in touch. Bye for now.